Okay, so the first topic that we're going to talk about is Giannis. You know that the Bucks, they're about to get a gentleman's sweep. If instead, like maybe some miraculous things happens, but they're probably going to get, a gentleman's sweep. So what are your views on Giannis after this series? I'll start with you, Riv.
It's rough. He just there's a lot he has to work on this offseason. Obviously, he has to continue to develop a jump shot. He has to develop a go-to move. He has to develop a post game that's just not backing down and seeing if you could dunk the ball. He has to get a turnaround. He has to do a lot. And I think at this point, the Bucks can't get much better. I mean, I think they could try to trade. I feel like they should have kept Brogdon over Bledsoe. But I feel like with that core, Middleton, Bledsoe, Giannis, they're probably going to run it back again next year, and I just don't see them really doing anything other than the same thing. Maybe going to the ECF, losing early, because I don't see that supporting cast helping Giannis go. So I don't know. It's tough.
So what do you think, Chance?
Well, to kind of piggyback off of River said, it's like
they're a copycat.
Yeah, but the supporting cast for this playoffs has kind of been a bit iffy, to say the least. Like, the best they looked was when he was not on the court. And, you had Chris Middleton, actually playing like an all-star. So, I mean, I feel like if they would have, did this when he was on the court, then they may not have been down 3-0. Although the referees kind of had something to do with that in Game 2 with Mark Davis.
Yeah, it was a
at
bad
the end
calls.
of the game. So, I mean, I feel like if they can just continue to do that, then they might have a shot. But they're probably going home in 5 games.
5. So the next game,
I think he's losing. I think he's doubtful for next game.
Going to play next game.
Yeah. So JC, you were really high on Giannis.
Yeah.
So do you still feel the same way?
Sheesh. This was, like you said, this was a player that I was really high on.
2-time
back-to-back
MVP.
MVPs, DPOY. But I mean, there's glaring holes in his game. Still doesn't have a jump shot. He's slightly gotten better at the 3-ball, but it's nowhere near respectable. He, like I said, I feel like he needs a post game, because when I watch Giannis, there's only 2 moves that he has. He'll back you down and try to dunk on you, or just run straight into the paint and try to dunk on you. But when teams are loading the paint and letting guys like Eric Bledsoe, who's not playing this series, but other guys who are inconsistent shooters open, it's a recipe for a disaster. So, I mean, he's 25 years old. I think
it's called HB Power Run.
He's 25 years old. Oh yeah, the play.
Yeah, that's his play. HB
That really
Power
is
Run.
his play. I mean, he's 25 years old. From what I know, he's a hardworking player. So I think the next couple of seasons, or for the rest of his career, he has to just dedicate it on just being more skillful, adding a jump shot, adding a mid range, and maybe his game will take. It's crazy to say that his game could go to another level, because he's already an MVP in DPOY. But if you add some skill, 2 times. So
wait, how bad does this look though on his campaign? His MVP DPOY campaign.
It looks really bad, because when we look back in history, or even probably when we tell our kids, it could be like, oh, Giannis had a MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year, but he got smoked in the second round by a team who I really thought that they were going to take care of in 5 games. I was vastly wrong. So Giannis needs to hit this offseason and just really work on his skill, do what he can to see what they do next year when they run it back. And then after that, if I'm him, if the team is still the same, you got to get out of Milwaukee.
Well, I have a question. First, let me put my take on it. I think that Giannis, I don't know about you guys, but I thought he was hurt all series.
Think so?
Yeah, I thought he was hurt, and I think that Miami was probably the worst possible matchup for that Bucks team.
Yeah,
because let's not act
not even
like
the Bucks, more like just Giannis in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's not act like Giannis is getting guarded 1-on-1. He's not. No, he's not. They're building a wall for him. He is the focus.
I think that's more of the fact that he can't read a defensive scheme, and he doesn't know how to break a zone.
I don't even think that's it, because I think if you're a player that prides yourself on getting to the basket, if a team is making that the focal point not to have you go to the basket, there's really nothing you could do if they're throwing 3 bodies at you at one time.
Kick out and hope.
But this is my question. When Jordan won MVP and DPOY the same year, right?
Yeah.
Did he win a finals that year?
He wasn't favored
at all.
So when did he lose?
in the second round.
Second round. So
Yeah.
right when Giannis is losing.
Yeah, but it's a difference.
But he played way better than
Is
Giannis.
it-
No. I got this. It's a difference. Michael Jordan didn't win 60 games. He wasn't the number one seed.
What
He didn't
seed was
have He was about fourth.
He was
or
a
fifth.
fourth or fifth seed.
And he
How
played-
many
yeah.
games did they win?
About 51.
It's not that far off though.
No, but he wasn't favored to come out the East at all. Like he was. It was Detroit favored to come out the
Yeah,
East that year.
bad boys.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, you could even when Hakeem did it in '94, he wasn't favored to come out the West. So Giannis would probably be the first guy who's favored to come out the East, win both awards, favored to come out the East, and panic in the second
that's
round.
why I'm saying
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little stain.
Is that true or is that just recency bias? Because I'm sure when Jordan was playing, people were tearing him apart for what we're tearing Giannis apart for right now.
Well, we could say that.
You know, the thing is, in losses, Michael Jordan played phenomenal. He's not half of what he was in the regular season in this series.
I
Now,
mean-
it could be because of an injury, but the difference between Michael Jordan and Giannis is Giannis has not been playing that well this series outside of the last game when he was 8 for 10 and got injured. Michael Jordan, that entire series, was a phenomenal player, and they didn't lose because of him. So Michael Jordan is phenomenal in both wins and losses. Giannis right now is just looking terrible right now.
I mean, I could agree with some of what you're saying, but I feel like when a player has a bad moment, we're so quick to tear him down the second he has a bad moment. Just a year ago, Giannis was a sob story in the NBA. Like they were making documentaries about him. Everybody was praising for how far he came, and now that he has some success, now people want him to be torn down so quickly.
I think it comes with the success
Yeah.
with any player. I think
Like,
that's
if
just
you're-
that's just
anybody.
gonna happen.
Like if you're gonna be an MVP, then people expect you to win championships. So it's like
James
If you're gonna
Harden,
win it
Steph
back
Curry,
to back,
LeBron.
you're gonna win it
Exactly.
back to back. They expect at least a finals appearance out of one of those.
I expected him at least to be back in the Eastern
Yeah,
Conference
if you're
Finals.
gonna go back to back MVP, you got to be back to
At
back.
least go to the East,
You have the best record in the East
in the
You were-
NBA.
and you were statistically one of the best teams in the league, and you lose in the second round in 5 possibly.
yeah, and the team
Doesn't look
looked
good.
it's at its best when he wasn't on the court. So.
That's yeah.
I think that all that factors in, like not just the fact that he won the awards, but the way they lost and the fact that it was to Miami, who people they had as a dark horse, and the fact that they were one of the best teams, it just looks really bad. I mean, they could run it back next year, but will it be the same result? I don't know.
Will some of the players even be there?
Well, who will leave?
Well,
Brooke Lopez is a free agent.
Oh, damn.
He is. I thought he was locked up
No,
for like
he
the
is-
next couple of
he is
years.
a free agent. I actually saw the free agent list for this year coming up.
He signed a 1-year deal.
So who will be leaving? Nobody. They'll probably
Well,
run it back.
That's the same. It's going to be the same team. They're probably no. I'm pretty sure they signed back Brooke Lopez.
I mean, if they
I
did,
could be
that's-
wrong.
They need
Not
him.
I think it was on a 4-year.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they
4 year?
signed him back.
But their weakness, everybody knew their weakness was always Miami. That was the team who,
Them in Philly
but that was the team who
and
posed
Toronto.
Giannis the biggest trouble was Miami.
regular season, it was
Yeah,
bad when they matched.
That
up.
was them in Philly who they were actually the two teams that gave Giannis his worst field goal percentages in the games they played.
So should Giannis stay or leave?
Leave. There's nothing in
leave.
Milwaukee unless they
Leave.
bring
He should leave.
Unless they bring
Yeah.
another star in, like a high quality star. I'm just gonna throw him out there. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but like a Dame or something like that. But
like a Bradley Beal.
yeah,
Put another shooter with him. And I think he's better than Chris Middleton.
Hell
Bradley
yeah.
Beal.
Yeah.
Not
he-
defensively though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Defensively, he doesn't fit what their game plan is. He's kind of like one of the worst defenders in the league.
I think
So
Chris Middleton's a little bit slept on, man.
he just, I mean, he was playing pretty garbage though.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true.
Chris Middleton.
Nah, last game he was balling.
Yeah, he was balling last game, but for the most part, he hasn't been
Even
that
in
good.
that Orlando series, he wasn't playing that well either.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I got a scenario because I was thinking about this the other day. So Giannis, they're talking about him going to Miami, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So how would you feel if Giannis went to Miami, the same team that beat him? Do you think he'd get the same crucifixion that Kevin Durant got when he went to Golden State? Because when KD went, he lost to Golden State and people called him out for it. And if Giannis goes to Miami, this is basically the same scenario.
I'm gonna say no and yes. I'm gonna say yes. He's gonna get the criticism because they're gonna be like, you went to the team that beat you. I'm gonna say no also because in the fashion KD lost, he blew a 3-1 lead, so he was up. Giannis was never up on Miami. There was never a chance he got to even be beating them. So I would say, like, it would be a 50-50. Like, yeah, he's going to get slandered. Like, yo, you going to the team that just beat you, dominated you, all that, blah, blah. And then on the same side, it's going to be like, yeah, but he wasn't up. He didn't blow a 3-1 lead. So.
I think he'd get way more hate if he went to Golden State.
Maybe.
Because I just don't feel like anybody wants Golden State to win anymore. I think we kind of accepted it. It was their time.
Yeah. I just realized what you said. Yeah.
And we just don't want them
What you mean
to
we
win
realized?
More. I mean,
realized.
no, everybody.
I didn't realize.
What do you mean you didn't realize?
I want them to win more. Just win more.
No,
more,
I'm
more.
saying we realized it was their time.
Oh, yeah.
They dominated the last 5 years in terms of all their finals appearances. But what team would you want Giannis to go to outside of Miami and Golden State if you could pick one?
Like, it doesn't matter, like, the cap situation, anything?
It doesn't matter. Just
Hypothetical.
whatever.
I'd like to see him in Dallas with Luka and KP.
Wow.
That'd be pretty
I think
You know they
that'd
have
be nice.
the
They do.
cap space
They
to
will.
sign him, right?
That'd be
2021?
crazy. I would like him in Chicago. We need something. So I would like him in Chicago. That's me. That would be
So
my
JC, back to your question. Any team, but it has to be realistic. So you can't say like Brooklyn.
No, I won't. What would I like to see? Giannis. Let me think. I would like to see him in if you can get rid of Rudy Gobert, I'd like to see him in Utah with Donovan Mitchell.
They actually will have Cat.
That wouldn't be a bad fit.
That'd be a nice signing.
You'd have to get rid of Rudy though.
I
They
would
just
get rid of
re-signed
Rudy.
Donovan. Rudy is actually the year Giannis is up. Rudy's up too,
I would get rid of
Yeah.
Rudy and get Giannis.
and Mike Conley's up. That
Thank
big
God.
contract.
He sucks.
You know that the Knicks want to trade for Mike Conley? They want to
Oh.
trade Julius Randle for Mike Conley.
Why?
I mean, at that point, you're just trading something for something.
Nah, I wouldn't mind that move.
Well,
though.
what's the end goal? Because
To get Cat for that year, right? Would it be?
Is it really? Because he's making a lot of money, or is he
He'll be a free agent
Oh,
in
okay,
2021.
Okay, so then it makes sense. So
Ah.
they're
Big
planning
year.
for a year.
I think
couple years more.
that's what they're fighting for. To that big free agency pass to hopefully.
I
get
actually saw that
somebody.
report today that the Knicks are like really, really, really want to trade Julius Randle, and I just thought it was funny.
I believe it. Do it.
So, do you think that Eric Bledsoe cost the Bucks? Like, they didn't re-sign Brogdon last year. Do you think they should have re-signed Brogdon?
I think that was one of the things where you take a risk and see how it goes later down. Like, remember how we was talking about the Jamal Adams trade? And it was like, all right, let's see what happens down the road. I think that was one of those. Like, all right, we picked Bledsoe. This is the guy we're gonna rock with. Let's see how it goes next couple years. Me personally, I would have taken the guy who's a better shooter, who can play. He doesn't play near the deep. He can play defense. He can
Not to the
play
level
make.
of
Yeah, but
Bledsoe.
he can play make. He can play defense. He can shoot. So I would have took that guy to fit Giannis, the guy who needs shooters around him.
Yeah.
That's just me though. They paid Bledsoe. I guess they value defense more at the time.
But do you really need like Bledsoe? Like, if you're
You do, but you don't.
Yo, I'm not.
You're a good defensive team all around, and you're
Yo,
like Malcolm
Hamza.
Brogdon's not a slouch.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you though. Like, I was looking at Bledsoe's shooting percentages, and they're not bad. I thought he was a
How many-
Russell Westbrook level shooter.
How many attempts?
I think about like 4 a game,
What was the percentage?
like 34%
It's
Was
better than
that
what I
this
thought it
year or
was.
just like in general?
this year. But for his career, I think he's like a 34% 3-point shooter. Like, he's not horrible. He's
Maybe
not
he's just-
Russell Westbrook.
Well, Westbrook is really bad.
I don't know.
Maybe it was just last year because he was really terrible last year from the three.
Yeah, because like I feel like with Bledsoe, like his motor kind of comes and goes. Like if he would have played the way he played in Game 4 for like this
Yeah.
whole season, then it wouldn't be that bad. But his motor kind of comes and goes.
That's why he kind of left Phoenix. Remember, they traded him. They got rid of him.
Nah, he's
because of
put
the
out
way
that
he was-
tweet saying "Get me out of here."
Yeah, so
Who
Okay.
put it out? Eric Bledsoe?
Yeah, he
Oh,
tweeted
yeah, I
out
remember
"Get me
that.
out
I
of
think
here."
a lot of
yeah.
people said they wanted to get out of Phoenix. I
don't
think Josh Jackson was criticizing the Phoenix staff, talking about y'all don't know how to develop players.
Hello, guys. You just watched a clip from Pick a Side. If you like our content, please like and subscribe and share our content across every platform. It helps us grow. Thank you for watching, and see you later.